Alright, welcome back to CodeZing.org. We're going to do another level 1 project today. This one's called Skip Letters in a Message. You can find the code and a working example at CodeZing.org/skip. Let's head over there. If you go to CodeZing.org, it's a level 1 project. Scroll down, Skip Letters in a Message. Alright, so hopefully it's obvious what this one's going to do. It's going to just give you back every other letter in your message. So, oops, submitted nothing. Alright, here we go, let's try this again. Alright, let's try this. I wrote this one because I thought it was kind of funny. Alright, so what does this do? Ooh, it brings back I am good at coding. So what I did is I just added an extra letter in what I wanted to say, and give me back every other letter. So if you want to do hello, you go back and you add C, D, E, and you add in letters in between, and you submit it. Cool. So you can hide the little secret messages in a longer phrase if you want, or just play around with the code and see what else you can come up with. To get the code, you can scroll down to the bottom, click on one of the buttons. We'll just copy that and open up the Spyder IDE. I'll paste that in there. If you don't have Spyder or Python, you better head back to the website, follow the links to get Python installed on your computer. It's free and open source and easy to do. Let's take a look at our code here. Just 3 lines to do this one. So look at all the projects so far. We're going to need user input. We do that with the Python input method. In between the quotes here is just what it's going to display to the user, and then whatever the user types in, it's going to make equal to the variable message. It's going to then take message, the variable, and it's going to do this string method that is going to take every letter in the message and just give you back every other one. And then it's going to print the skip message, our new variable, back to the screen. So let's run it once, we'll watch it work. Hello there everyone, can we run it? Okay, so it chopped out the E, good, and gave us the L, then chopped out the other L and gave us the O, chopped out the space and gave us the T. And just so you know, it does count spaces as a character, so it gives you back every other one, you know, even including the spaces. So let's first take a look at what's going on inside these brackets. So this might look a little weird, 2 colons and a number 2. You wouldn't think that's really doing anything, but let me explain to you how this works. So this is going to say the first character that you want it to return, and then colon the last character that you want returned, and then this is the called the frequency, but it's really like if you want to return not every single one. If you want it to skip, it allows you to put in a frequency. If you leave frequency blank, it'll just bring out what's in between the first and last character. So, right, so let's set message to something instead of just me typing it in every time. Let's set it to the number so you can actually see what's going on here. So this is a string of numbers. Since I put it in quotes, it's a string. It's not, Python won't view it as numbers. When you put anything in a string, it views it as text. So you can't do mathematics on a string, but this will help us to see exactly what this next chunk is doing. So if you put in a hashtag, it considers it a comment, and Python will ignore it. So I'm just going to comment that out because I want to play around up here a little bit and not have that part run and error out or get strange on me. So let's say I'm going to print, because we all want to see what's going to happen. So let's say I do message and I just do that. What's going to happen if I just put 1 colon in here? It's not better. So I can see it actually printed out the entire string. I'm just going to comment this out so it stops asking me. it printed out the entire string. So if you leave this first character blank, it's going to start at the beginning. If you leave last character blank, it's going to go all the way to the end. So if I just put 1 colon, it's going to give me back the entire thing. We'll run that again. All right, the entire thing. So let's say I want to start at this second number and go all the way to the end. Then I'm going to change before the colon to actually the number 1. And why is it number 1? Because Python actually starts at 0. So 0, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the first letter in any string or list in Python is the 0th element. Let's print that out and see what it does. And you can see it starts at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. All right. If I put in 0 here, that's just like leaving it blank. It does the whole thing. So a little bit of a tricky thing to remember, that when you're counting, when you're looking at things in Python, a list or a string, the first item is actually 0. So let's say I want all of them except the last number. So I'm going to want 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 0 through 8, and I print that out. And sure enough, 1 all the way through, 8, and didn't do 9. Actually, I want all the way to 9. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Cool. And then you can even grab like the middle of a string. So let's say I want just the middle here. You can see it grabs 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and prints that out. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So it's starting here. So this is the 0th item, the first item, the second item, and the third item. So it's starting at 4, and it's going to the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and then ending at the 9th item. So if this was a word, let's say the message in a bottle, I don't know, and you print that out, you can see it's going to do the same thing. It's going to count 0, 1, 2, 3, and grab this first S, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and so that's what it's giving us back, is this middle chunk here. And so let's see, what is this frequency character is. Like if you want every second, every third, every fourth letter, it gives you the option of putting in another colon, but obviously you don't need it. If you don't put in that column, it's just going to assume you want every character. And if I put in 2, we can see that instead of this S-A-G-E-I, I'm going to get every other letter from here. So I get S, and then skip, and then G, and then skip, and then I get a blank, which you can't see the blank, but it actually did give me that blank back. And then skips I. If I did, let's say we go a little further and I do every third letter, I can do that. And you can see it's giving me the S-E-N. So it's doing the first letter, skip, skip, third letter, skip, skip, and then a G is the next letter that it's going to grab. Or I'm sorry, N is the next letter it's going to grab. So feel free to play around with that. What numbers you put in here, or if you leave numbers out, or what happens if you do negative numbers. If you do 0 through -4, what do you think is going to happen? Think about it a little. It is going to give you, from the beginning, the first character is 0, and it's going to go through -4. So it's actually going to count backwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, and chop those off. And so it's going to go message in a bow, which is exactly what it gave us back. So you can actually do negative numbers as well, and it'll start at the end and count backwards. Let's see if we can do like from -10 to -4. Will that work? Yep. So it's going to count back -10, start there, and then go to -4. All right, cool. It's really powerful what you can do in just a little bit of code for stripping messages, breaking them apart. And so I think that's all I have to show you on this one. Playing around with strings and using these brackets and the colons to get portions of strings, skipping letters, stripping out parts of strings, super useful in a lot of the games and stuff that we got coming up in the harder levels. So if you have any questions about that, feel free to leave a comment after the video or email me info@codezing.org, and I'll try to answer any questions you have. You can always look at the Python documentation if you're ever confused. You can Google search, Python skip letters or Python strings and read the documentation, see what's out there. There's a lot of good information, a lot of good tutorials that can show you even more information than I did. So, all right, well, have fun.